that is the Gold Cup hero. Two of the most admirable chasers you could possibly wish to see.
Relentless, remorseless, and pounding Contender into submission.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Racehour podcast, brought to you with our friends at bookmakers.co.uk. It's me, Dean Ryan, in the towers at bookmakers.co.uk. I'm joined by Diarmuid Nolan. Demo.
Hello, Dino.
How are you?
All good, man.
Good. And Dave Weldon is back. Dave.
How are you?
It's time to take an Ante-post look at the market for the Unibet Champion Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival. First questions first, probably the most straightforward one. I don't think any of us are going to fancy this horse for the race at the current prices, but is Epatante the right favourite, Derma?
No.
Dave?
Maybe.
Okay, elaborate.
Her form the last two races has been in the style of a progressive horse. She's rated 153 now. She's going to get £7. That puts her bang there with anything
As
else
good as
in the race. Yeah, but also in line with Classical Dream and Pentland Hills and all them other horses. Like she's right up there. So 7-2, like she's short and it's a bad race, but she's probably just about right favourite based on what they've done this year.
Okay, I can understand why she sits where she does. I think I said on last week's pod, I don't want to live in a world where Epatante is the favourite for the Champion Hurdle in the middle of January, because it's nothing like I thought the race would look like on our run up to March. But that's where she is. If that was the prices right now on the day, would you back Epatante at 7-2? If the race was today.
If the race was today, I'd back Epatante.
Derma?
No,
you still wouldn't.
No.
Well, you've got some allegiance that we need to talk about. It's just slightly different. One of the other questions I have down here from our players: how bad a renewal might this be? I think the answers we're not quite sure yet. It doesn't look good though.
It doesn't look good at all. I think some of the entries would even back that up when you look at the likes of like the Banner King Rebel. Now I know most years there is a few mad entries, but this year particularly you wouldn't begrudge anyone entering any sort of a horse into this Champion Hurdle. When you see Pentland Hills is second. I know he won a Triumph Hurdle, but just like that last run wasn't very good. He's very inexperienced, and the Triumph Hurdle, if nothing else, has gone against everything that I thought and looks a very poor renewal. So the whole market is all over the place, and it's just not a market I'm excited about at all.
If Envoi Island and Honeysuckle were in here, Epatante would be third favourite, Dave.
Yes, that is correct.
And they're not going to run there.
No.
Well, if Honeysuckle wins the Dublin Racing Festival, if she does turn up, then I don't know.
I still don't think they will. I mean, she'd have to go and do what Apple's Jade did to change the minds of those involved, because it's a mare that I think they're a breeding operation.
They are, yeah. That's what I was going to say.
And so Cheltenham win is a Cheltenham win. All right, amazing to win it with a mare, but she could win it next year.
But this Champion Hurdle looks easier than taking on Benny in the Mayor's Hurdle, though.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you put Benny in there, she's probably the same price as Epatante.
She's favourite, and it's taking on Epatante and this field, or taking on Benny to do in the Mayor's Hurdle. Is there at the moment they're looking as tough a task.
Look, we all love Honeysuckle on here, and I think Honeysuckle will win either race.
Same as, but it's still as hard a task.
Yeah.
I can't back her at tens for it because I've got in my head that she'll have to go and do an Apple's Jade style job on the Dublin Racing Festival.
So she's 5-1. I'm running no bet.
Yeah.
Do you back her at that?
Yeah, it kind of feels. I feel comfortable enough there.
Yeah, same as.
I haven't though.
No. See, that's. Yeah, like.
Sorry, are you saying you wouldn't do that?
No, I'd probably back her.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You just gotta wait to get your money back. She's going to be entered in it all the way until the time.
So like this race really boils down to me is how forgiving are you to horses? Like, Epatante ran a shocker in the Mayor's Novice last year. You have to forgive her that and say she's a better horse this year.
She deserves to be forgiven that.
Yeah, give her one, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to Pentland Hills to forgive. To say he's okay, you came to hurdling late towards second half of last season and went to win the Triumph.
Let's see Saturday.
And see a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Saldier is, I know Dermot, you love him, he's a bit of a weak horse. Like he doesn't really follow up his race, and so you're basing it on the fact that he's going to get there fresh and show its true runnings there.
Gonna have to bust a load of trends too.
Yeah, Sharjah is an admirable horse and probably would have finished third last year. I'm pretty comfortable saying that he would have finished third last year if he wasn't brought down by Bouver there in the Champion Hurdle. Classical Dream, you have to forgive 2 runs this year and go back and just forget about this year so far and just remember back to last year's Supreme. If you're fine with that, then he's a bet at 10-1. And then you're coming into Somerville Boy, who potentially is an each way angle and
Didn't get an entry.
did he not?
No.
Oh, okay.
That can still change.
Yeah, they can still supplement.
I think
But
so. Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. So then you're into massive price figures. So you need to forgive something at the top of the market in order to make yourself comfortable. And I'm comfortable forgiving Epatante, a bad run in the Mayor's Novice last year. It was the whole doodle jab situation, and I think she was one of the ones that was given it pretty close to the festival and was just rammed for the sake of running. So 7-2 at the moment. I'm kind of, with her progression this season, I'm happy with her.
Okay.
Does it not show how shite a renewal it is that we're talking about a
Well,
Mayor's
that's the
Novice
question
hurdle
we're trying
flop?
to answer, yeah.
Like it's just so depressing. Saldier, I completely understand every argument you made there about him is completely true. You'd need non-runner no bet to back him because he's made of glass. But the form of he was coming to beat Espardalan, and his form in the Morgan hurdle is the 2 strongest pieces of form. Allowing for Sharjah brings strong form in as well.
Sharjah's latest run is stronger than the Morgiana.
Yeah.
By 2 lengths maybe.
Yeah.
But that's
enough.
Just about. Saldier had more reasons.
I'd be happy.
Saldier was left with an awful lot of work to do, and the market would have suggested that as well. Even if he is got ready at home, which they will have to do, I'd imagine now, they won't leave him with that amount of work to do because I'd say they just thought he'd improve for this run.
That's fair. That's very fair. So you'd expect him to, if he was good enough to win a Morgiana off a break,
and drifting all day as if he was.
And then they will have him in better shape regardless without having a run for
champion
hurdle.
hurdle.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they've done this with Penn Hill, they've done this with K Vega, they've done this with Benny to do. They've done this plenty of times.
So any other yard then that
You'd have
trends
question marks.
bust is a lot harder to do than
Yes,
a Willie Mullins yard.
Willie Mullins yard.
Also fair.
And as well as that, we're also looking at a subpar champion hurdle that he needs to break trends, a lot of trends, and this is a very hard thing to do, to arrive into a champion hurdle with this long a break. But he's arriving into what is a terrible champion hurdle to try and do it. So, like, if Bouverdaire is running here, what price is Epatante? Like, if
Epatante doesn't run here if Bouverdaire is running.
Espardalan is there as well. Yeah, sorry, she doesn't. So this is a terrible market, and Saldier will just be the one to pick up the pieces if he makes it on the day.
So like non-runner no bet right now is like 5s for Saldier, and in fairness to you, Derma, I think you put it up at like 25s and 33. So you're on a nice ticket. I could not touch it off the back of what is the expected prep now, but you're right when you say this yard and they managed to get it back after a break to win a Morgiana. The Sharjah form is not a sexy horse for me, but that Sharjah form in the most recent run.
But he's Mr. Consistent, isn't he? That if it's as bad a race as I'm saying here, then Sharjah can win.
He definitely can win this champion hurdle. And that's kind of what the point I'm going to make. So he's 10-1 and he can win. Yeah, you can win it. Like you Galway hurdle form, the run the last day. You forgive the return, although it was still a good run behind Saldier the first time up. And all the little bits we know about it, even coming down last year's race, I think Patrick Mullins was on TV after the latest win saying that, that day felt good. That day I thought it was in the mix, and the way that race fell apart, he could have won last year's champion hurdle. And we're not going to know. So 10-1, been to a lot of parties and is thereabouts. Classical Dream, Dave, you're right in saying if you just forget everything you've seen this year, that it's difficult. He's probably still favourite for the race, even without a run. He'd still be favourite for the race. So there's an angle for your 10-1 to look quite big. If they can he needs a win on the rostrum before he pops up in the champion hurdle. So I was all very keen. I thought 10-1 was ridiculous, but then I've seen him run again, and it's my God. I don't know.
There's one horse who should get a mention as well is Course of Lime, who David Russell gave a very soft time to the last day. He's gone apparently straight away to get his win done. Which is what they were saying on social media. So during the race, David could hear a noise, and pretty much you could see in the finish there, he wasn't in any, didn't push him at all to get up to the front two. Kind of let Sharjah go. Now Sharjah probably is just a better horse than him, but you could see worse based on that Triumph Hurdle form from last season. You can see worse 25-1 shots than him.
Did Not So Sleepy get an entry?
Not So Sleepy is an entry, yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to come to these types of horses now. So you've got like Not So Sleepy, Course Sublime that you mentioned already. Verdana Blue, I assume, is alive.
Yeah, she's going to Saudi Arabia next.
Right, so
next
we
2
scratch
weeks.
that.
No, she's going to German hurdle as well after that.
Okay. Well, maybe you shouldn't scratch that. It's only going to, it's one race, and we'll need ground to be absolutely spot on. Thomas Darby, if it wins this weekend, is in the picture. That's a 33-1 chance. Second in the Supreme. You've got City Island, who they might go back to hurdles with.
No entry though. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to see from here? Petit Mouchoir has finished second to the two that we kind of like in Sharjah. And Saldier is in there at 40-1. I don't know where LeBake is, but that's in there at 50-1. This race still needs something sorted out. And Racehour, who runs this weekend, has entered the betting at 50s. And I can see bits of nibbles around at 40-1. So something could still come out and blow this market out the water.
Yeah. The not so sleepy angle for me is that it's a front runner and could just go and might catch a few sleeping. And I actually didn't mean that. and
that's good.
And Pippa plays around 25-1. That's kind of what you're looking at with them bigger prices. You're hoping that the front of the market is so weak.
It's just a bit mad that that Not So Sleepy is a shorter price than Cornerstone Lad, who's already kind of, I know he beat a Bouvardere with a splinter in his foot, but he still did it, I suppose.
Beat a three-legged Bouvardere.
Which is probably more form than most of the others carry in. And
that's why it's such a good market.
Petit Mouchoir at 40-1 as well. If the Irish form does end up ringing true, you've got a horse there that could it wouldn't be the biggest shock with the way that he's been running all year, Petit Mouchoir, because he's backed that up now twice. He's been second to Sharjah and Saldier. That if he backed that up again, it would be no shock to see him do what Silver Streak did last year and finish third.
Yeah, well, if he did back that up and Saldier wins the race, he's a length and a bit behind that.
Yeah, so
and if he did back it up and Sharjah wins the race, he's 3 lengths behind that.
He's the kind of horse now that you put on just for a complete and utter, payday. You'd put like Saldier to beat Petit Mouchoir in a bet,
just to go and repeat a bit of form. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
As much as it's wide open and we have a 3-1 favourite who no one ever would even thought would be entered in this race. It's still a fascinating contest to talk about. I think the biggest takeaway from this is that if the two horses that are not intended to run in this race run in it, one of them will win.
Yeah.
Envoy Island and Honeysuckle. And for all the right reasons, if they were my horses, I wouldn't go for that race. But we're saying that they'll win it if they did.
Yeah, and I'm just, obviously, look, I'm on Saturday with the price that he's on. But the closer it's getting to Cheltenham and the more hopefully positive noises you'd hear about him, you just couldn't put anyone off with the form that he carries in. Him and Sharjah, I think at the moment with nothing else coming out of the fold, if these are the runners without Honeysuckle and Envoy Allen, you'd suggest that Rich Ritchie's actually in a nice place in this bracket.
Penton Hills could be out the back of the telly in the betting after Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's current second favourite. So you could be on the second or third favourite. Or
given Willie Mullen's form in the race, you could nearly couple the three of them together. Classical Dream, Sharjah and Saldier, and you're on a 10-1 each. You could couple them all together and be on
Diarmuid Nolan followers, the disciples of Diarmuid Nolan, are on Saldier at a really big price. So you can back another one, Dermo. Which one are you telling him to back?
Sharjah, I think.
Okay. Dave, you're an Epatante fan.
Yeah, I have Sharjah. Sharjah to follow home. Yeah.
Okay. That's the champion hurdle.
It's kind of like the year, remember when Leicester won the Premier League? Everything else just kept tripping and falling. Spurs and Arsenal in behind, and all the good teams just never turned up that year. So like all the good teams in this metaphor is your Bouvarderes and your Espartalin, unfortunately, and then you've got the rest of your bad teams. So this is the year when like Sharjah, all he has to do is just remain consistent the whole year, and he could well just do that and win it. And that's all Leicester did, and that's all the Sharjah might do.
Could happen.
I can't believe you just reminded Dean about the year Spurs should have won the league and they didn't. He's crying over there.
We've come to the end of the podcast. So thanks very much, chaps. Dave Weldon, Diarmuid Nolan. You've been listening to the Race Hour, brought to you with our friends at bookmakers.co.uk. Hopefully we've helped you out for the weekend, and the Cheltenham Ante-post market for the champion hurdle. Been a pleasure. Talk to you all next week. Best of luck.
Godspeed.
Cheers, Dean.
You've been listening to The Race Hour, brought to you by bookmakers.co.uk, your best bet for tips, news and bookmaker reviews.